Hellraiser Spoilers, guys. Let's talk about it. Welcome to Mirror Domain's Movie News, your place for entertainment headlines. And this is the Horror Weekly, where we round up all the big horror movie headlines from the week that dropped. And today we're going to be looking at trailers for Mayfair Witches. Okay. The Midnight Club dropped on Netflix, and I'll be giving you my thoughts on the first episode. We got a trailer for VHS 99 also. But we start off today's stories by talking about Hellraiser 2022. And it's going to be, well, the talk of the town for a little bit here, guys. Hellraiser dropped on Netflix yesterday. Or sorry, no, it dropped on Hulu. Sorry. Hulu. With all these streaming services, yeah, I get confused every now and then. But let's take a look at what the synopsis says. Take on Clive Barker's 1987 horror classic, where a young woman struggling with addiction comes into possession of an ancient puzzle box, unaware that his purpose is to summon the Cenobites. Now that's a very, wow, guys. Hey, you're here for spoilers, so we're going to be talking about what really happened in this story. Young woman struggling with addiction, played by Odessa Azion. Azion? I don't know how to pronounce her last name. I suppose I should have looked it up beforehand. It wasn't in my mental notes, but I forgot. Jamie Clayton plays the Hell Priest and the new Pinhead, and she does a fantastic job. I absolutely loved her in this performance, and I can't wait to see more. Let's take a look. Drew Starkey's in this as Trevor. Adam Bison is Colin. Okay, so that's the father, right? Brendan Flynn is the brother who gets, well, wait a minute. Adam Bison is Colin? No. Oh yeah, that's him. Okay, didn't recognize him there, and it's kind of a weird angle of him. But yeah, Goran Visnik is Voight. He plays the bad guy, and yeah, he's kind of like the bad guy. You know how in the first Hellraiser you kind of got that the uncle that gets taken to hell because he played with the box, then he tries to escape. He's like, I guess he's sort of like that role, but not really. He got the prize at the end. What do you guys think about the prize that Goran there, Voight, got with it kind of through his body there, that wraps up his nerves and tightens every now and then so that he feels pain every hour of the day? Was it every hour? No, it was like every 20 minutes or something. But yeah, let's go over some of the initial impressions, and then we'll get into some of the story plots and the plot points. As of now, because of today, Hellraiser has 71% by the critics, 85% by the audience, less than 50 ratings. Oh, wow. Well, that's because it's on Hulu, and I would have said that I would have loved to have seen this in the theater. I would have, for sure. So, let's take a look at some of the snapshot reviews. Moviefreak.com says, this is a phenomenal continuation of Barker's story, one that pays deft homage to both the source material and the original two films, while also expanding the mythology in emotionally complex and dramatically unsettling ways. Yes, because this is not a reboot, guys. This, obviously, as you know, just takes place within the universe. The first two movies do take place in this universe, as far as I'm concerned. It's just, hey, things have changed up, times have evolved, and the Cenobites have evolved too, and it's in their look too, the way that they look. They've kind of forgone the black robes, which will make some people angry. I know it'll make some people angry out there. I want to know if it did for you guys, because some people just signified the black robes, like the iconic look for the Cenobites with that. And if you were angry about that, trust me, guys, once you see their full look, and they do show the full bodies of them, it's gross. It's really gross, and I like what they did. I thought it was just like a natural evolution. And who else agreed with me on that was Clive Barker. He agreed with the way that it looked. There's a big interview up with Bloody Disgusting about Clive Barker and the director of the new Hellraiser, David Bruckner, on the franchise's legacy and future. And they go in and talk about the looks of the Cenobites, because this is actually a rather lengthy interview. It took me some time to read it this morning. I'll just scroll over it here. But they go into the look and talk about, like, when Clive Barker was talking to David Bruckner about the new look, he was kind of like, well, how are you going to do it? Are you going to update the BDSM look? Because you can see, like, from the older version, that it's definitely, that's what it was inspired by, and Clive Barker even goes on to explain that that's where they came from. So when it evolved to them being without the leather, yeah, he was on board. He said he looked at some of the pre-visual, like the conceptual art for it, and he was like, yeah, I'm on board with that. But then this article also goes in to talk about how Clive Barker came around with the first movie and stuff like that. And David Bruckner says that how much he looked up to that film and it inspired him. It was a lot of back scratching, if you know what I mean, for the bulk of that. But they do get into talk about the new priest played by Jamie Clayton. And I thought that was kind of cool. Because they go in to talk about how the differences were there between what Doug Bradley was doing and what she's doing. And they talk about the subtle menace that she has in this film. And I do agree with that, because she does have a very subtle menace to her, where when she's talking, and she's talking about the rules or the choices that one has to make when they get summoned, the way that she delivers the lines, I thought it was very effective. I thought it was haunting, especially when she's like, there at the end, when she's going through all the different configurations of the box, and what do you want to choose. I felt like that was cool. The other line that I thought was good was when she was on the bridge talking to Riley is the main character there, that she was saying something like, choice is a myth, or faith is a myth, or something like that. It was just the way that she said it was really cool. Now, guys, I did actually cut out a lot of my reactions, like my snippets, that I was going to post, but then I realized that a lot of it's kind of spoilerish. So I'm going to hold back on those for a little bit, because I published one of them where you get to see the establishing, like the first appearance of her, and I felt like that was really well done. I didn't spoil too much how she gets there and stuff like that. It's just kind of like her first appearance in my little shorts. I think later today I'll publish the one where she gets one of the friends there all chained up and stuff like that. I'll publish that one today, but there's other ones like with the Chatterer and stuff, and the Weezer or whatever his name was. I had ones like that too. I just felt like it was a little too spoilerish. But since we're talking about spoilers, I tell you what, I had one for the Chatterer when he gets pulled apart, which was pretty shocking in the movie too when you thought about it, because you didn't think that she would honor that blood sacrifice. And so the Chatterer getting ripped apart was kind of like, ooh, well, I didn't expect that. And that's what they tried to do with the other Cenobites too. They tried to get them to get the blood from them too, but things got in the way, and you saw that there were some double crosses there from the boyfriend character played by Drew Starkey, Trevor, backstabs. Basically, he was in on it throughout the entire movie, right? So he was the one that led her to the box and was supposed to bring like fresh. She was supposed to be fresh blood for the box, because he was working with Voight at the beginning, ever since the start of the movie, right? Voight got his final wish with the Cenobites, and he wished for, what was it, pleasure, right? And there's Odessa Azion. She did good. Now, if people were to tell me that you didn't really root for her, we'll talk about that in a minute here. But yeah, when they offer her or offer Voight pleasure. It's that thing that gets put into his chest and turns his nerves around. And Goran Visnik, or whatever his name is, this guy, he did a fantastic job in playing that, playing the torment there. And then the ending scene where he gets turned into a Cenobite or something like that. People say that perhaps it's not a Cenobite. It's still grotesque. It's very graphic in its nudity. He plays it. It's just wow. It's just as shocking as when the Doctor in Hellraiser 2 gets transformed into his. It's that kind of level of disturbing, and that's what I liked about it. Hellraiser is a movie that I wouldn't say is scary. I mean, sure, if you haven't seen this before, then you will find it scary. But for me, it's more of a curiosity because I like these characters. I like the lore behind the Cenobites. Seeing them in this new iteration, there's the mask. It was just creepy. Very, like, with the, yeah, because he doesn't have a face, guys. It's just gross. Now, the one thing that we didn't really understand, other than, like, Chatterer biting somebody, we didn't really get the menace from the other Cenobites, right? We got it from Pinhead, obviously, because she uses her chains. But what does the mask do? How is the mask, how is he menacing to us, right? We didn't really get that. We got a little bit from the Weezer, because we saw that scene in the hospital with the first older lady. Oh, and the female Cenobite too. I guess we got menace from her, but they just she had like wires that would come around and stuff like that. Yeah, as far as the designs went, yeah, there's a more blown up shot of the mask. Very creepy stuff, guys. And oh yeah, there's the female one. What was her name? Let's scroll down and see what the name of that new the Gasp. We didn't see much of the Asphyx. We saw a little bit of it. The Weeper. Sorry, the Weeper, not the Weezer. The Weeper. Yeah, I wrote that down on my notes somewhere. The Weeper. Okay. So let me just go back to some of these screenshots here. And we'll continue on from where the Gasp. Yeah, the Gasp. Now that's kind of dark. I apologize for that, guys. But she was menacing too. She was. Okay, so this is the girl that gets torn apart with the hooks. And I am going to publish that later on today. That little snippet. I don't think I'll be able to publish it on TikTok because I posted mine the other day there too, but it kind of like mutes stuff in between, and I don't think, because it says Hellraiser in the title, I don't think people like it. So if I do post it to TikTok, that you can see there, link there, there's my social medias. Just watch it on YouTube, guys. Here, watch it on the Shorts page, and you'll be able to watch it there. My little snippet reactions from there. It's only like 30 to 40 seconds. It's not that long. Hourglass Viking says the Hell Priest have a similar look to biomechanical skin tear images that tattooists do, based on H.R. Giger, who designed the creatures from Alien. Yeah, they did, right? Let's go back to the mask there, where he's got kind of like the writing and stuff, the etchings, and then he's got like very Borg, Borg too, like Star Trek Borg kind of things coming out of him. But yeah, you didn't really know what the menace of, what does he do to make you scared, right? Other than looking scared. Does he cut you, or what does he do? Like, she cuts you. We didn't really learn that much more. But let's talk about this main character, Rye. Because she's somebody who had substance abuse problems, who had problems with relationships. I could see that somebody telling me that they didn't like her character, you didn't root for her. I'd understand that. But I'm there for the Cenobites. I'm there for the bulk of it. It does get a bit long in the beginning to establish her character. I really do feel like they could have tightened that up for sure, because when she's having the relationship with Trevor there, it's kind of like, okay. They do it more than once, right? So it's kind of like, it's a bit redundant, I would say. Yeah, you can see them there. a little bit redundant. And she jumps into his arms there. Um, okay, so this is the scene with the brother in the washroom. So she goes into a park and she overdoses a little bit, taking some stuff, and her brother goes out to look for her. He goes into the washroom to clean his hands because I think he gets cut from the box, right? He tries to grab the box from her and he gets cut. And then, of course, they come for him, and like the washroom walls go away there. And you just hear him screaming pretty much, right? He looks in the mirror and it's just him looking back, but it's not really him. And that's creepy. That was creepy. Okay, more of Trevor, and there's Goran again. This is the opening scene. And it had a good opening scene. So the opening scene of a movie, I think, is always the most important thing because it helps you, it establishes what the tone and what the mood of the movie should be. Now, we didn't see Pinhead in this one in the opening scene, but you can see the chains there in the background. Basically, this guy who gets pulled away here gets strung up, and you see it in the background. It's a really good establishing scene. I like that. Okay, so this is the older lady that buys the box at the beginning, right, from that other old guy, and she gets later on, she's in a hospital, and that's when the weeper and the gasp come for her. And that was a good scene, too. That was a very creepy scene. All right, what do we got here? So, oh, that's a very classic painting, right? This is the mansion, Voight's mansion, where he's done research on them. He's done like sketches of them. He's taken a look at what the Cenobites are and stuff like that because, well, he made it all the way. He made his wish, right? He got one of the configurations as his wish. And this is the beginning of the opening of the film. That lady who buys the box from the guy. Where was it? It was in, was it Slovenia? I forget. Serbia, right? It was in Serbia. Okay, so there's the Weeper. Now it's very dark here, guys. I wish I could brighten that image for you. And then we do get to see that weird box that swirls. We did see it, but it didn't really. It was more like a cameo of the box. We know that it has a bigger part in the other Hellraiser stuff, but that's what I mean by how it has ties to the other Hellraiser. It doesn't poo-poo all over it. I liked it. Like, you know, it gave us enough to say that whatever's happening, it doesn't erase everything that we've seen before, right? So there's other things there that are cool. Okay, so this is when the older lady gets taken by the Weeper. Now, this is other dark scene. This is part of the chain scene where you can see Chatterer here in the foreground. And the mask is behind there. And now this is like a, what was this? This was like a, not a trance, but kind of like a dream vision, like a hallucination she was having of her brother. She was dreaming that she could see him again, but then she hugs him, but then in the mirror you can see that he's all bloody in the back, and that's kind of like their nod to the first Hellraiser, where the guy who escaped from hell, the uncle, was like that when he first escaped, right? And then he had the woman go out and get blood for him so he can rebuild his body. So that's the nod to that. And I thought, like, as I said, they do homages to the original, which was fine. And that's the interior throat shot. If you looked at this and you didn't know what it was, this is an interior throat shot of a needle going through a girl's neck that Pinhead, she takes one of the pins out of her skull and puts it through the, oh god, it was gory. I loved it, guys. Oh, and it was shots like this that helped build that creepiness, because then you could just imagine all the blood that would start coming out and she would start drowning from that. That's just, wow. And this is Voight's house. Voight built this house, I guess, to keep them out. So there's something about the mesh going around this. Now, when I first saw it, I thought it was, you know, that mesh that you put up to demolish a house. But no, this was something that he constructed to keep them out. And it looks like they practically built this. So it wasn't CG. And if it was very good CG. But um, I felt like this concept was a little bit unexpected and was cool. I thought it was really well handled. Okay, so this is the asphyx, right? Sorry, maybe we did get to see the asphyx. Yeah. Um, Now this is the only one scene that I said that was kind of bad, because when it starts running, it's kind of like let's see if I can emulate it here. It's just kind of like ooh, kind of thing, right? It was the one thing that one of the Cenobites there that I would have to say that didn't look all that good. Oh, maybe I can blow that up a little bit. So those darker images on this, because this is my YouTube. Yeah, there's the chatter. You can see that better there, right, guys? Um, oh, yeah, that's creepy design. Um, Good design. And I like how they tried to make, like, it's all red, but it's like open flesh there too, right? So in images like this, when you see it like this, it does look dark. So you do get the impression that there is some black there. Our Glass Viking says Riley was a good character, but sobered up came too quite conveniently. Yeah, yeah, I guess I can sort of see that. Where are we at? Just after the house, right? The asphyx running. This is the start of the film when we see it in the. Okay, that's one configuration. I can't remember the names of all of them, but that's the opening scene. She gets torn apart there. Uh, yeah, this is when she's interrogating the girl who gets caught up in the chains, and a lot of this scene was just oh, the looks on her face was fantastic. So I want to know your guys' thoughts. Did you like the different configurations of the box? Because I felt like in this version, they did a lot. They did a better job of explaining the different configurations than the first movie and the second movie. They just kind of left that up to interpretation as to for you to go and find it. Okay, there's the Weeper, and you can see that the Weeper also has pins, the pins in the face, because one gets pulled and put into somebody's mouth. Wow, yeah, the Weeper. That's a creepy design. Again, there's those weird rod wire kind of things coming out of her with the flesh pulled up. I think it's a her. I don't know. And there's another box in the star formation kind of thing. Okay, so that's a little bit washed out, so maybe I can see that one bigger. Yeah, so that's a little bit of a recreation of what the iconic shot was of Doug Bradley's pinhead holding the box. And guys, it's breathtaking. For me, it is. And I hope you guys get out and see it. Get a chance to see it. Find a copy somewhere, guys. Use a VPN if you have to, if you know what I mean. Um, um, yeah, there's the box right there. That's when they just take it. There's some more stuff there. I think she did a fantastic job. Wow. All right, what's next? Is that it? Okay, so they're just copying, repeating some stuff. Oh, there she is getting into costume. Apparently, yeah, we'll talk about this costume here in just a little bit. Her getting into there she is, Jamie Clayton. There, she did an interview where she talks about it, and like look how much she transforms there. You can barely like recognize her. Like that's how good the prosthetics were, right? But apparently it was very tight and constricting for her to do. But oh, and that's the new poster, right? Or one of the new posters? Hellraiser. Okay, so let's go in and talk about her experience here, putting on the costume. Jamie Clayton on slipping into the Hell Priest's skin suit, because that's what it was. Bloody Disgusting has all this stuff up. So as I said, it's going to have a lot of coverage over the next couple of days, guys. I wonder if throwing salt on the Cenobites stopped them in their tracks. Well, the skin, yeah, because the skin is open, right? I'm sure it's still, well, actually, it still would burn, but they would enjoy that actually because they like pain. Pain is pleasure for them, right? Let's take a look at what she said here. I thought I had it pulled. Slipping into the Hell Priest's skin suit gave Clayton something tangible to work with. Yeah. Okay, so I had an idea when I tapped my audition of what I thought it would be, she said, but working with David, I could not have asked for a better director. The reason I wanted to do this so desperately after doing the callback was because David was just so playful and gave me nuanced, intelligent direction. Well, that's cool. And that sort of came out too in that interview with Clive Barker there too, that he was very hands-on with working with people too. Um, let's see, and had a willingness to want to play with me as an actor. I knew that if I did get the chance to work with him, that the performance would be really enjoyable and something really fun. Well, I don't know if it was fun, but yeah. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so she says, so that the first test screen we did, I remember I was squirming so much and trying to breathe, uh, and I was like, I won't be doing this on the dub. I was trying to get used to it. It was the neck. Once the neck went on, I was there. So yeah, and that's what we saw on that production photo, right? Of them kind of like touching up the neck. Um, yeah, because that neck, I'm guessing it's just like a sock they put around there. Um, wow, yeah. And once you see yourself in on all the makeup, which is, I hope it gets some kind of recognition because this work is, it's awesome. It really is, truly is. All right, guys. Other than that, I want to know some of your thoughts of the spoilers for Hellraiser. Um, what worked for you? What didn't? Did you like the new Cenobites? Was the pacing a bit too long? As I said, yeah, it was a bit long to get going. It probably could have been an hour and 40 minutes, perhaps cut out like 13 minutes or so of the intro. Just once you get to the Cenobites, though, trust me, it just goes off like that, and it's just I really liked it, and I hope to see more. I hope to see more because we left the brother story there as a loose thread, and I felt like that's fine. There's there's the opportunity there to bring them back and stuff like that. So I want to see more for sure, and perhaps then they can bring us a little bit more gore, maybe a fight with other kind of demons and stuff like that too, like what Hellraiser 2 did. I hope it's successful enough, guys, because for me, well, still Predator Prey is the best Hulu movie that I've seen, but this one was second behind. Hellraiser spoilers, guys. We've been going for 28 minutes on it already. Ooh. Sorry about that. I apologize. Guys, if you don't know how this works, we do, the horror show there on Saturdays here. But you can also see all my other social medias there. On Mondays, we do House of the Dragon, 1:30 p.m. Yeah, we'll be doing it this Monday as well because it's a long weekend here in North America. Wednesdays, we do Andor, Star Wars Andor, great series. Thursdays, we do She-Hulk, which is wrapping up this week. She-Hulk wraps up this week, and Rings of Power wrap up this week. Later on today, just in an hour, we'll be doing episode 7, because yesterday I was all busy dealing with the Hellraiser stuff that has been slowly trickling out and stuff like that. So we'll get everything covered, guys. Don't worry about that. And so I'm looking forward to episode 7 of Rings of Power. I want to say one more last thing about Hellraiser, and then we'll move on. For some reason, I still don't understand it. I don't get it. That we're here in 2022. YouTube has been around for more than a decade now, guys. Coming up on 2 decades now pretty soon. For some reason, people still think that they can go on YouTube and watch the entire movie. You can't. You cannot go onto YouTube and watch the entire movie Hellraiser. When it just freshly comes out, you can't do it, man. So somebody came into the stream or into the video and says, "Why aren't you showing us the entire movie?" Hey, I'm this age. Yeah, you should just show us all. It's like, it's 2022. Do you not know how copyright works? I left the comments on there anyway because, hey, comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. So there you go. I'm dumbfounded sometimes by some people. Like, seriously. And then, of course, too, because of the graphic nudity that you see in it, all the gore and stuff like that. Obviously, I said in the comment section, this one was much more heavily edited than usual. Okay, let's move on to more horror movie news, guys. That's enough. Enough of that. VHS. Oops. I don't have that quite set up. Gotta move over my audio here. For VHS 99 trailer coming out on Shudder. VHS 99. Talking about David Bruckner. He's got his hand in this too. David Bruckner directed Hellraiser, and he's got his hand in VHS as well. So we got an official trailer. It's larger than life for VHS 99, due out on Shudder October 20th. And hey, why not? Why not? Let's take a look at this official trailer, and hopefully it's not too graphic in its sense. I hope it's not the Red Band trailer. I don't want to get in trouble here. I guess I should have watched it first, but oh well.
Remember, fresh souls taste the best.
Fresh souls taste the best. Who's that? That voice sounds familiar. So, the VHS series here is alive and well, I suppose. On streaming. So they're just dancing here. Actually, let me do it this way. Okay, so you're just seeing a lot of...
And welcome back!
It's an anthology, right?
Special episode.
Spend the night in a coffin.
Lily!
Spend the night in a coffin.
The faster you breathe, the faster you use up your air, so you can't panic.
No. Set your VCR.
We have ourselves a winner!
Ooh. Spiders. Bodies. Madness.
Play or die! Play or die!
Okay, so there's more music. Backstreet Boys music. Does that really fit? VHS 99, October 20th, guys. So, is VHS just America's home movies? Yeah, basically that's what it was, right? I think the first two were good. The third one, it had some good, interesting ideas. It's an anthology, guys. So basically what happens is that somebody finds like these videotapes, or I guess digital cards is going to look like, of, well, horror stories, right? Weird things happening. And what I liked about the first one is that some of them like are just so abstract, you don't see it coming. With that weird glitch monster that happens, like you just think you're watching, a noise in the video feed, like you know how it's got like the lines through it, like when you put in an old VHS. But that eventually becomes a monster. That was kind of weird. The house that kind of encloses in on itself is weird. Going into another dimension is very much like something out of the pages of a Outer Limits episode. So I like those kinds of stories. The alien abduction one was really weird too. I like that one. This one looked a little bit lower budget though, but it's part of it's being produced by David Bruckner, who just did the new Hellraiser. So I'm taking a look at that. Matt Bettinelli and Tyler Gillette from Ready or Not, and Scream has got a hand in this. Cool. So it's got some good people behind it. VHS. And I do like the anthologies. As I said, some of them are hit and miss. Yeah, a bit of Backstreet Boys. I think it fits. So you thought that Backstreet Boys fits that? Okay. All right. Well, VHS 99 isn't out already. It comes out October 20th, which is in 12 days. But they've already planned another sequel, VHS 1985. And it's going to be helmed by David Bruckner, right? He's going to be spearheading this 1985. So Bruckner's keeping his hand in the horror genre for Shudder, and VHS lives on, coming in 2023. So there you go. More anthology stuff. As I said, as long as the stories are weird, abstract, I don't really care about the low budget quality about it. Just bring us something that's just totally far out there. Because the ones about zombies chasing around skateboarders, yeah, that one didn't really work for me. Things like that, yeah. But it looks like they're using the time periods just much like Fear Street did, right? So we had 99 and now we got VHS 1985. And well, you have to, if it's called VHS. They had VHSs back in the 85. They also had Betamax. So I'll have to see maybe if that'll make a cameo in it or not. For 2023, VHS 1985, guys. Those are my 2 VHS titles in the description there. Let's move on and talk about the bigger movie that's coming out this week called Hellraiser. Next week, guys. 6 days away. 6 days. So, and 5 days for me because I'm seeing it on Thursday. Halloween Ends. But the same director who did Halloween Ends did Halloween Kills, David Gordon Green. And I guess in a lot of the press this week, people have talked about some of the backlash that Halloween Kills had. Now, I didn't hate Halloween Kills, but it's definitely, for me, it was a little bit of the weaker of the installments, because it wasn't exactly the story I thought it was going to be. But apparently, the director has come out and said some things about the backlash of that. So let's go in and take a look at what his. That's a lengthy quote here. So let's take a look at what some of the backlashes were. I guess it was because some of the storylines were a little bit unresolved. He said, to me, psychologically, the whole point of that movie is kind of unraveling things and not resolving things. Okay. There's a lot of people that when they see an ending like Halloween Kills or that kind of unresolved chaos, they get frustrated as a moviegoer. I'm one of them. And I think I said that during the week too, right? For me, that's just part of the fun. And then we get to come in and tidy it up with the last one. Well, what makes me pause here, director Gordon Green, is that you changed your direction. Because Halloween Ends was supposed to take place right after Halloween Kills, but then after the movie was all done and stuff, you changed it. You took out the original ending of Halloween Kills and just shoehorned in the fact that you wanted to have a 4-year time gap. Because Halloween Kills ended with Laurie Strode in the hospital grabbing like a knife and saying on the phone, "I'm coming for you, Michael," right? But there's a 4-year time gap, and you're not even going to explain to us where or what Michael was doing in those 4 years. He's just going to show up because you want to tell this coming of age story. That mixed with this story, that's a lot of the fun for him. It's kind of like I question your story motives, man. For me, that's just part of the fun. When you get in and come to tidy it up, and I hope Halloween Ends does tidy it up. So any frustration that was expressed about the last one, I kind of smile and say, hold tight, here we come. Well, no, don't hold stuff back, because that's a number one story killer right there, if you hold stuff back. And we saw that a little bit in some stories, right? It seems to be like one of the main themes of what kills a story's momentum is like, it's taking too long to get going here. It's getting a bit too long. And then, yeah, and if you hold stuff back because you feel like you're going to have another season of something or another movie of something, that's not good. But he's saying that everything's going to pay off nicely for Halloween Ends. Do you believe him? I'll have to wait and see Thursday night when I go see Halloween Ends and see from all the TV spots and trailers that have come out, you pretty much, Laurie Strode and Michael Myers are pretty much going to kill each other at the end. And then, they'll kill each other. She'll die, but he'll end up walking away at the end. And that'll be the end of Blumhouse's trilogy of Halloween movies. And I'm still excited to see how it goes down. But yeah, just thinking about that backlash, it does bring up some questionable things about Halloween Kills for me, at least. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Trick or Treat 2. Did you guys like the first Trick or Treat? Trick or Treat sequel gets a promising update from director. Okay, so the director was at this, what's it called? Some kind of horror con or some kind of BlizzCon. No, not BlizzCon, like some kind of con. What the heck? Beyond Fest. Yeah, some kind of horror thing where Mike Dougherty, right, shares news about Trick or Treat 2. Announced tonight that he's in active development with Legendary on the sequel for Trick or Treat, which came out in like 2007. And that everyone wants it to happen. Get ready for more fun, more from Sam. Sam is that little, this guy, right? This is Sam. Now, talking about anthologies, this was an anthology style film, which was okay, I suppose. It was a bit overhyped for me. Somebody told me that this was the best horror movie ever made when this movie came out, 2007, that it's going to be something like I've never seen before. And, well, I like the cast. Some of the stories, yeah, like with the murderous principal or whatever, was fine. There was one that goes into a weird spot with the school bus that was kind of weird too. Anna Paquin, yeah, she was in that. That was kind of cool. I like that. I like that story. Well, anything with Anna Paquin is cool. But a sequel for Trick or Treat 2. What do you guys think? Is that Brian Cox? My God. Yeah, he was in a lot of stuff. He was also in The Ring, guys. Did you? I forgot about that. He did a lot of work back then. So he's in active development, the director says, for Trick or Treat. I would imagine if it's in active development, it's not going to get shot until sometime next year, if they have a script yet. Trick or Treat 2 could be more focused approach and limit itself to telling one main story, putting a series of ghouls, ghosts, and masked freaks into an orbit of group of characters, as Scary Stories in the Dark did. Okay. All right. One main story through kind of thing. Well, the first one tried to do that a little bit, didn't it? Each of the stories were a little bit connected. Any comments? No comments. But I know that the first Trick or Treat has a big fan base, and people like it, so why not? It was in 2007, right? That's when I said that the first one came out. 2007. An hour and 22 minutes. Hey, that's a positive. I like things when they're nice, neat. All right. Glass Viking says, I really like the aesthetic of the VHS movie. It's definitely horror nostalgia for me. The horror of VHS tapes being chewed up in the VCR. Oh, yeah, we've all been there before. Okay. The Midnight Club has dropped on Netflix. Yesterday it dropped, right? Yesterday. And I watched the first episode, so let's go into it right now and talk about the Midnight Club. What's this? Netflix's Midnight Club sets Guinness World Record for jump scares in a single episode, and it does. Oh, God, it does. Okay, so let's talk about the different types of horror here. Because there's horror, well, like, aside from like the slasher or zombie flicks or ghost stories kind of thing, there's also the types of scares, right? Like Hellraiser is very gore and disgusting, kind of scary. Midnight Club seems to be employing the jump scare, and they go overboard with it, and you're going to see that in my reaction to it. I'm going to be publishing shorts for my reviews for Midnight Club. I'm not going to do like a formal big YouTube video for it. You're going to see it in shorts form. I filmed it all right now. It's all in in my phone, so I'll edit it later today and post it up, my reaction for the first episode, and we'll do it kind of like that, vlog style for Midnight Club is the way it's going to happen. I like, let's see, I like the cast. Everybody seems to be doing good in it, like the group of kids. Basically, this is taking place in a hospice. They have all been diagnosed with terminal illnesses, right? So what happens is that they all go up there and they're all meeting each other in this episode. Basically, we follow this main character right here, her, which you can't really see too much. Yeah, I can see it there. Ilonka, yeah, that's her, Ilonka. So, she starts off as a promising young student going off to university. She coughs up some blood. She gets diagnosed with some terminal cancer. She gets sent to this place where she meets the new people of this Midnight Club, well, this hospice. And she works well, like the rest of the cast, they work pretty well. They establish some eeriness about this place, right? But it's from Mike Flanagan, guys. And if you don't know who Mike Flanagan is, he did Haunting of Hill House, Bly Manor, and this club gets together at midnight. They share some potent potables and just share ghost stories. And I thought it was going to be an anthology series. I thought it was going to be like VHS, but it's not. Like, you know, they would just get together at the beginning of every episode and somebody different would tell a new ghost story. It's smaller stories, but it's going to be, I'm getting the impression it's going to be one main through story of what these group of kids go through at this place. And the small ghost stories that happen in between where they're telling it, trying to get into people's faces and stuff. It's just going to be like the sideshow fair. But this girl who plays Ilonka, she did a pretty good job, I would say. For the first episode called The Final Chapter, it established some interesting chemistry that can happen here. And I'm on board for it because it looks like Ilonka has done her chemistry. Or some, not done her chemistry, done her research on what this building is, because it seems like she knows a little bit about the history as to what's going on here at this place, because there's like other patients. It's a hospice, right? Other people have come there and died. So it seems like she's read up on it. And I don't know, because we're following her, if I exactly trust her or not. We'll have to see how it all plays out. The first episode, it caught my interest enough that I want to check it out. It's on Netflix right now, so probably an episode a day for a week here, guys, is what you'll get from me and my small little reactions that will appear in the Shorts tab, also on your subscription feed. If you've subscribed, yeah, guys, subscribe, come on. Hit that thumbs up button. You know you want to. You'll follow my reactions for the Midnight Club. Death is a Rite of Passage. And follow my thoughts on that. It'll be just like quick little 40, 50-second reactions and thoughts for each episode. It'll all go together in a playlist for the Midnight Club. And it's caught my curiosity for sure. For sure. M. Night Shyamalan has been, he's been tapped to make another movie too, Beyond. Well, what has he got next? He's got that movie with Dave Bautista called Knock at the Cabin, right? But apparently he's also been tapped to make another movie in 2024 for a release date of April 5th. So by that sounds, it sounds like they've already got a script. Everything should be set to go for that. Okay, but Knock at the Cabin comes out February 2023 with Bautista playing like some kind of, I don't know if it's a cult or something that hold this family hostage, and it's kind of like, you got to make a choice or it's the end of the world kind of thing. It's got Rupert Grint, Ron Weasley from Harry Potter. So I'm definitely curious about that, guys, for sure. But It's good to see that the Sham Hammer is getting some work, you know. I didn't like Old. There were some very good ideas about it. He's a good idea man. He truly is. So, despite of if the movie works for you or doesn't, he's still got some good ideas. And Knock at the Cabin looks like it's going to be good. So why not? Yeah, give him another film. Who knows what it's going to be about? But his next film after Knock at the Cabin is April 5th, 2024. A mysterious project without a title at this time. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I would imagine it being in the genre field. He hasn't done straight drama or comedy, but, you know, those are very, very different genres. Art Glass Viking says, yeah, Trick or Treat should be developed for the horror fans. It should be clever and steeped in lore, much like Leprechaun. Does Leprechaun have lore? I mean, Leprechaun in the Hood. Yeah. Oh, well. All right, what's this Dead Hot Witch movie? What's this about? Dead Hot Witch, Season of the Witch. Sorry, Dead Hot Season of the Witch. Vanessa Hudgens explores Salem in unscripted movie. Unscripted? What? Well, there's Vanessa Hudgens. Yeah, I do like her work. She was she's in a couple of things that I liked. Vanessa Hudgens is taking trip to Salem with Dead Hot Season of the Witch, an unscripted feature film that Variety has announced this afternoon. The documentary film. Wait a minute. Is this supposed to be documentary? It's been described as The Craft Meets The Simple Life. The project documents Hutchinson's journey in Salem, Massachusetts, along with her best friend, musician Gigi McGree, as they set out to learn about witchcraft, ghost hunting, and connecting with the spirit world. What? So it's just them basically learning about witchcraft and stuff like that. Cool. There's Vanessa right there. Wait, is this the official poster? What? I don't know about that. The Craft Meets A Simple Life, is that what you said? Okay. All right. Yeah. What do you think about that? Any comments? Oh, we do have got some comments. By unscripted, I thought this meant totally improvised horror movie, but it sounds more like a documentary that she's fronting. Yeah. Is this one of those erotic 70s witch exploitation movie? Hutchins dancing around the campfire naked wood. Okay, come on, guys. Show some class. Hey, I said that I liked her, but I didn't say anything like that. Come on. Well, I guess that's what you get, James, from not screening these comments. I wonder how long it would take before Hollywood decided they didn't need scripts anymore. It's the TikTok generation. No kidding. But, hey, I'd be taking a look at this. Why not? Seeing these two go off and try to learn about witchcraft? Cool. Talking about witches, the Mayfair Witches is from Anne Rice. It's going to be a TV series with Alexandra Daddario. And we got our first trailer today, guys. TV series for 2023. Premiere expected in 2023. And what's this? Follows a neurosurgeon who discovers that she is the unlikely heir to a family of witches. She must contend with a sinister presence that has haunted her family for generations. A neurosurgeon. So I'm guessing Alexandra would be like the neurosurgeon who finds out that she's from witches. She'll probably have a lot of skepticism from Anne Rice. I've been more interested in this than Interview with a Vampire. Mostly because of Alexandra, but hey, those are the breaks. It's gonna be weird watching like things happen in this series because some of these are just some of the shots that they've released from this. Harry Hanlon, right? Is that He kind of looks like Dr. Oz, doesn't he? They must have fashioned him after Dr. Oz with the haircut there. But I do like Alexandra Daddario. I think she's a talented actress. So, with that being said, guys, let's take a look at this official trailer for Mayfair Witches. I haven't watched it yet, so hopefully it's not... That's not Red Band. It wouldn't be.
Do you know this place?
It's the old Mayfair house.
What do you know about it?
Murders, disappearances. But really, that house is famous for its witches.
What?
Witches. Sorry, guys, it's a little bit washed out here because I forgot that I cranked the contrast
Death had nothing to do with me.
for my Hellraiser
you were there?
review. I need to
I
turn
don't
back those
understand
settings.
anything that's happening.
The Talamaska exists to investigate the unexplained.
Talamasca. So that's they reference
The
that
strongest thing I've ever felt.
in the vampire series
All
as
the
well, right?
Mayfairs have gifts.
There is something, a being. He's connected with your family.
Ooh.
He can take different forms. He might start to visit you.
January. Okay. It's just some music, guys. In a family of secrets.
Many forms.
So it's definitely a coven of some kind, right? Yeah.
But it's rightly yours.
Ooh.
Shouldn't I be?
He serves you, not the other way around.
Okay.
You know you're special, don't you? Can you feel it?
Mayfair Witches. That's very interesting. I want to know what you guys thought about that in the comments below, because I thought that it would look pretty cool. And as always, as I said, I like Alexandra Daddario. So let me just fix that color correction there. Let's take a look at some of the comments here from what people are saying about it. Only 87 comments. Alexandra Daddario is a fantastic actress, an absolute treasure. Yes, she is. The new interpretation of The Interview with a Vampire has already seduced me deliciously. And they talked about the Talamaska. Is that what it is? I can't remember exactly what it's. They talk about that in the vampire series as well, right? There are people that chronicle them throughout history and stuff like that, right? And study them. I exhaled a sigh of relief at the first viewing. Thank God they got it. I equally have high expectations of Mayfair Witches. It's sad Anne Rice couldn't be here to witness the renaissance of Lestat Mayfair anthologies. Rest in peace. Yes, she did pass on. So she's definitely got her fan base, and the fan base seems to be charged up about this. This actually looks promising. I hope they go back to the early Peter Van Abel days of the very first generation of Mayfair Witches and show how later generations came about. Okay, so that's a little bit, perhaps that comment's a little bit spoilers. I don't know exactly what it means, but it looks like there's some history there to the family that, yeah, I dig it, man. Mayfair Witches. Cool. Jack Houston. Did we see Jack Houston in that? I don't think we did we? He plays Lasher. Whatever that is. Cortland Mayfair is Harry Hanlon. Millie Mayfair, Geraldine Singer. Jen Richards is JoJo. Anybody else that jumps out at me here? Annabeth Gish. Cool. Deidre. She's one of Mike Flanagan's go-to men. Or people. Men. Yeah, she's not one of those. Mike Flanagan works with her quite a bit. Annabeth Gish. And she's going to be in the Fall of the House of Usher that Mike Flanagan's working in. That's cool. That's cool, guys. 9 episodes. It's going to be 9 episodes. Cool. Mayfair Witches. All right, guys, we're wrapping up here. We're wrapping up. It's been going a little bit long. Just a quick little tag here for Nosferatu. Robert Eggers is remaking Nosferatu, and we talked about this during the week too, that Bill Skarsgård and Lily Rose Depp are going to be in this, but it looks like Nicholas Hoult was in talks to join the cast. It sounds like he is going to join the cast. Nicholas Hoult in talks to star in Robert Eggers' remake. Now, we all assumed that Skarsgård was going to play Count Orlok. So could Nicholas Hoult, actually, to tell you the truth. But one of them is going to be somebody who tries to save Lily Rose Depp or whatever. Like, I haven't seen the original Nosferatu in ages. I forget almost everything about it. But you know what? Nicholas Hoult is talent. Bill Skarsgård is talent. I don't know too much about Lily Rose Depp, but it seems like she is building her resume, right? What else? She's in a TV show that everybody's been talking about. The Idol, right? The Idol is what people are talking about. She was in Silent Night, Savage, and then she was in a few of Kevin Smith's film because Kevin Smith is friends with Johnny Depp. So, and I think Lily Rose Depp is friends with Kevin Smith's daughter. So their daughters are friends. Hey, it just makes sense. But anyway, Nosferatu, guys, that's just a quick little update about that. Nicholas Hoult joining the cast. That's cool. Yeah. You all know Nosferatu, don't you? Don't you? Yeah, Count Orlok, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, right there. Creepy, man. I hope they go for that creepy aesthetic. I don't know if I want it to be in black and white, though. Maybe they will keep it with black and white. Do you want to see a black and white? If they're remaking it, though, making it in color. Use your color palette. We know that Robert Eggers has a good eye for color and stuff like that. We've seen that in The Northman, The Witch. I mean, come on. Arglass Viking says Mayfair Witches looks like a grand affair. Good to see Harry. He's aged well. Alexandra looks great in this role. She does. I do like the cast for sure. And it's got that eeriness to it that's kind of like what's haunting the... Well, obviously some kind of witchcraft is looming overhead, right? Like the sword of Damocles. All right. A few more stories here, just a couple quick ones, and then we'll take a break and we'll get to the Rings of Power. Incident at Loch Ness. I always was enchanted with Nessie. As a kid, I liked reading those books of Loch Ness and cryptids. I don't believe in it. I don't believe that there's really anything there. And the famous image that everybody's seen, the guy on his deathbed admitted that it was a hoax. But anyway, incident at Loch Ness. Werner Herzog, cool, finds Nessie encrypted mockumentary. So Werner Herzog making a mockumentary of Loch Ness. That sounds very interesting. Yeah, it was this image here. This is the one that was revealed to be phony. It was a fake. But it looks like he's been kind of infatuated with it. You'll recognize him, guys. He's got a very distinct way of talking. And when he was in like The Mandalorian first season, he was the bad guy in Jack Reacher. He's also a director. He's directed a bunch of stuff. What else did he? He directed Bad Lieutenant New Orleans, right, with Nicolas Cage, I think it was. But anyway, Loch Ness mockumentary. Man, that sounds cool. Now, I don't know if it's actually going to show a beast of some kind, or if this is from the movie or not. I'd be up for it. I love this movie. I watch it every fall. Werner and Goldblum blow my mind first time I saw this. You watch it every fall, so it sounds like it's been out for a while. But I have to check this out. Found more found footage around cryptozoology needs to be made. Lots of potential there. Yeah, definitely. I want to see more about Sasquatch. I want to see more about Chupacabra. It's worth just to see a shot of Nessie swimming by Herzog. So is this... See, I got the impression that this was coming out, but by the sounds of it, it's been out for a while. Oh, it's 2004. Okay. So it's been out for a while. Why did you put this in my show notes, James? Maybe it was because I was just glossing over things and I just pulled it. I was pulling at things. 2004. Wow. Wow. Okay. My apologies. Then let's just close it off there. I don't even want to talk about this mean one. The mean one. Grinch slasher movie. Spoof this December. Yeah, a Grinch slasher movie. Actually, we're getting another Christmas movie with like a different genre with David Harbour, right? In this audacious new parody, the mean one is a hairy green-skinned grump in a Santa suit, living on a mountain high above the town of Newville, despising the holiday season, so he goes on a killing spree. So the Grinch goes on a killing spree. Why not? The mean one. XYZ Films. Who stars in it? Young Cindy. Crystal Martin. I don't even know what the heck that is. All right. Guys, I think that's it for today. I've been rambling on here for a bit. The mean one. IMDb. All right. Okay, so that one definitely is coming out. December 15th. Okay. So it looks like some of the cast here. That's it. So, other than that other shot that we got, that was it. The mean one. Who plays the Grinch? David Howard Thornton. Okay. So it's going to be a slasher kind of thing. Very low budget. Yeah. Okay. I guess that doesn't need to be paid too much. The famous Nessie image was an elephant's trunk, I think. Was it an elephant's trunk? Yeah. Anyway. I like it. I like Nessie. All right. Someday I'll get there. All right, guys, that's it for now. I'm going to take a 20-minute break here and join us in a few, like 20 minutes here, and we'll get underway with the Rings of Power episode 7. I can't wait for that. If not, guys, join the playlist or for Horror Weekly if you don't like any of the other stuff. And some more Hellraiser clips will come out later on today, and my reaction to the first episode of The Midnight Club. Check that out. And if not, I'll join me next Saturday for more Horror Weekly headlines. See you then.